Covering the Universal Orlando Resort for 6 years, you are listening to the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 260 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. I'm your host Tracy, and with me I have Lee.
Hello everyone.
And I have Darren.
What's up, Internet?
So how is everybody?
Good.
Good?
Very good.
Good. Excellent. Right, well, we'll jump straight into this one, I think.
Yes.
It's quite an exciting one. I've been waiting for this for a little while. Now, as we've mentioned a few times recently, we've been planning a series of podcasts looking in depth at Universal's Isles of Adventure. Over the coming months, we intend to go island by island and discuss each land between ourselves, but we're also going to be inviting fans of the source material to join us and discuss the lands and attractions with some of the people behind them. So let's begin.
Yes, I've got some interesting guests already lined up who've
Awesome.
been... a couple you'll have already heard on the show before and some you haven't. One I'm very excited about.
Cool.
Nice. Well, Universal Orlando added its second park, Islands of Adventure, to the resort in 1999. The latest addition to Universal Orlando grand opened on May 28th, 1999, and debuted a new name for the resort, Universal Escape. And we all know that stuck.
Yeah.
And that was a really good idea. The new state-of-the-art theme park opened with 6 lands. The entrance was Port of Entry, and then going clockwise, there was Seuss Landing, the Lost Continent, Jurassic Park, Toon Lagoon, and Marvel Superhero Island. This increased to 6 on June 7th of 2010, when the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade opened, and in 2016, the latest edition, Skull Island Reign of Kong, opened on July 13th.
We will begin with Port of Entry. Woohoo! And to help us discuss it, we do have Islands of Adventure Uber fan, John Smith.
Hey, John.
Hi, hello
Hi,
from
John.
Orlando.
Thanks for joining us, John.
Thanks for having me. I love your show. I've been a fan for a long time. I live here in Orlando. I work in the theme park industry as a designer, and I'm a huge fan of Universal Studios, especially Islands of Adventure.
Yes, we know. I will throw it out there first, John. I know that you have a certain piece of memorabilia themed behind one of the pieces. Oh, I would say the centerpiece of Port of Entry. Do you or do you not?
I do. I have a little statue of the lighthouse that a friend of mine who was part of the opening staff gave me. And I have it on a little shelf. I have a bunch of the little pins that they sold from the opening day. And I've got this little memorial to Islands of Adventure with all the little tchotchkes and dueling dragons pins and things like that.
Wow.
So awesome. I actually have a pack from the opening of Islands of Adventure that you kindly sent me with a lot of the sort of media shots from Islands of Adventure. It is so cool.
That's right, and I love your podcast so much. I mean, I can't wait to hear it when it gets up, and I learned so much about the park and all the stuff that's going on. So thanks for spending the time and doing all of what you do.
You are very welcome.
We love it.
So right, Port of Entry. I remember when we did our Q&A with Jim Hill, that one of the questions, we did a listener Q&A, so people shot questions at us, and one of those questions was about the backstory for Islands of Adventure, and it's one of them that Jim couldn't confirm, and I'm hoping that at some point when we get into these episodes, we will have it confirmed. But originally what I heard the backstory was that there was a child entered Port of Entry and threw a stone into the lagoon, which split into 5 or 6 pieces, however, and each of those fragments of stone ended up becoming the islands around the park, and I've still not found out whether that's true or not, but that would be so cool if it is.
And then this guy named Thanos put them in a gauntlet.
But I mean, Tracy, this is one of your favourite areas of the
I
park,
love this.
even beyond Zeus Landing, which says a lot.
It does, yeah. This place, I turn to that giddy kid when I'm getting close to it. I just want to leave you a lot behind and just run to it. And if I could hug the whole place, I would, because it's just that place that makes my heart beat faster but calms me at the same time, if that makes any sense whatsoever, because I'm just home.
Yeah. It's a weird one, because for the longest time, it was like City Walk for us, that we kind of, you just blast through it. Your focus is on getting into the park.
Yeah.
But then after you've been a few times, you start to stop and look at it and realise what a stunning area it is. I mean, John, what is it about Port of Entry that you love so much?
Well, when you're designing a theme park, it's all about a story, beginning, middle, and ending. And the beginning is approaching. So as you're crossing the bridge, you see the lighthouse. That's the first thing you see, is the first things that the inhabitants saw. When I heard, this is the backstory, and now it's very hard to confirm, as you said, the true backstory for the park. A lot of it is rumors and speculations, but I think we can pick up a lot of it from visually as we look at the park itself, because they're really good with it. But anyways, as you're approaching the park, you see the lighthouse, much like the original settlers did, and that's the weenie. You're walking into it, and then as you see everything just kind of approaching it, you hear the music coming from the land, and that is so exciting. All that score that really starts to now hit you in the ears as well as the eyes. And then you see the architecture that's falling around it and all the beautiful foliage of the opening gates. And there's a little bit of story that I think I picked up on, but I can tell you what I heard the backstory was, which is probably wrong, but it's still kind of part of it, even if it's like fan fiction or headcanon. What I heard is that a giant ship, the ship saw the lighthouse, and they parked, and the inhabitants came off of the ship, and they all ended up kind of inhabiting all the different islands. Now, as you mentioned with the stone, that could be part of it as well. But you can kind of see in the first thing you see, and this is something that I picked up, the luggage cases, which they cleverly turned into trash cans, but you can clearly see that their luggage have the luggage stickers all over them. And if you look on there, you can see the story of all the different lands that are around Islands of Adventure. You can see the Pharaoh's Palace, you can see Jurassic Park areas, you can see all the stuff, and you can also see one shot of the boats that are traveling in to the lighthouse, the Pharaoh's Lighthouse, and you can see the sails on these boats. Now, if you notice, those sails are the same sails that are over where you purchase your tickets.
Yes.
And that kind of ties everything together now, where, okay, well, when the ship did land and they didn't need the ships anymore, what did they do? Well, they deconstructed it. They took the luggage, they turned it into the trash bins, they took the sails, they turned it into shade. And there's actually lots of things all around that port that look like it's part of a ship that was taken apart and put together to create the opening statement for the park, which is brilliant if that's really true, if that's actually the case. But that's just kind of what I'm picking up on as I over-examine and over-read everything.
It does make a lot of sense, because I think you sent me a picture. I don't know what it was from, John, specifically, but it was like the ships, and it said port of entry, and they look very, very similar to what is over the entrance booths.
And even as you go into the first gift shop, there's that a large kind of an open area where you walk in. If you look up, you can see, and also this is all in there, and also inside the restaurant, there's parts from all the different lands just kind of collected and huddled and put on shelves to kind of show that this is the area where all of it is together. It's a very diverse location. All the lands are represented in this one land before you kind of break out. And that's when the story really starts to pick up as you walk down the road to the lake.
Yeah. I mean, Darren, you've probably spent as much time in there, more so probably than, well, definitely me and Tracy, but, when you had your annual pass, you and Nina were there 2 or 3 times a month. So, what is it about Port of Entry that you two love? Because I know Nina's a huge fan of it.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I just love sitting there and soaking it in, really, especially when you get there later on and, the major crowds have left and it's, a little bit quieter in there and you can just listen to all the details. And it seems like as you pull your eye to everything, then you can hear those sounds. Like, I never really heard the cat sounds until I looked up and saw the cats. And now every time I go through, I hear those cats and it draws my eyes up there. It does a really good job of that. And there's so many things to look at. You can sit there literally for hours and never be bored, really. And then that's something to say about an entryway to a theme park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. Another thing I was thinking of with those ships, if I'm not mistaken, I could be mixing up with another park, but I think on the employee entrances to the ticket booths in the back, there are like portholes in the doors.
Oh.
so that they can check and make sure they're not going to bump into anybody. But I think that might be, that might be a detail of the theming, if that's the right park I'm thinking of there.
Okay.
That's pretty
Now,
cool.
when you walk in, there's the restroom over to the left. Now, I know over at Harry Potter, of course, we have Moaning Myrtle inside the bathrooms, but there's also voices that play in the restroom off to the side of something going on.
Is there?
Yes. Do you know I'd forgotten about that? Yes.
I don't even think I've ever been in those.
Yeah, but there's something going on. I heard it's like construction workers or possibly people who are trying to escape one of the prisons, even though the prison is further down and on the right. But there's those little story elements where if you look up, you can see that there was a bit of a holding area for prisoners, and they escaped. And there's that the bed sheets that were tied together to make a rope so they can get out. And there's even a little note off to the side saying "see you later" or something along that line. And there's also the fire department area that's burned away. They had moved because they didn't do a very good job of it. You hear voices coming from the casino that's way up there over the Christmas shop. The casino there's still gambling and there's still games going on. You can hear voices of characters up there having their little gambling games. So it is such a brilliant series of stories and history that's going on in here. If you slow down and really experience the adventure, without just walking right to it. Oh, we got to rush to go to Harry Potter right away. No, you got to slow down and just kind of take it in and just kind of enjoy the opportunity to pretend that this is all real. That's the fully immersive part that's really the best, is you can make believe for a moment that you're in a legitimate place. It's not a theme park. It's just kind of this fun adventure world that you can visit for $100.
Yeah.
I think it's quite interesting you say that because everyone's walking into the park, everybody's chattering, so you don't really get to hear that sound as much. I mean, it's very similar to Hogsmeade that you've brought up there, because as a rule, you generally don't hear it when you're in Hogsmeade unless you happen to be lucky enough to get into Hogsmeade. For us, we closed out Forbidden Journey in 2013, and it was literally like us and the security guards walking out of it, and you don't realise how much sound is in that area until there are no crowds in there. And I think that's the same with Port of Entry, but because it's the entrance to the park, it's generally always busy, unless you are literally the last people out of that park.
Yeah, that's another thing to be said as well, is to make sure you see it at night, because the lighting in the area is just so warm. It's an incredible sight to see.
Yeah, and if it's wet as well, if it's been raining and then the lights reflecting, it's stunning.
It just takes on a whole different atmosphere at night, which I think a lot of the theme parks do, but it is very much so.
It's like a Thomas Kincaid painting. That I knew, it reminded me of something.
Perfect analogy, really spot on. Yeah, the whole park does glow. I was just there last week, actually, after it rained, and I saw exactly what you just described, and it's beautiful. And taking photos of it with my iPhone, well, not the best opportunity to take good photos there, but I was trying, and it is really lovely. The lighting package that they designed into it's a treat, because it's so rare that they're open during the evening hours. So when you get that chance, you got to make sure you go do it, because it's a brand new park all of a sudden, especially over Wizarding World, Jurassic Park as well, and everything is lit up. In Marvel, the neon.
Yes,
it's just a rare opportunity to see all that stuff. But especially, another thing I love about the evening lighting in Port of Entry is what's going on inside the rooms. You can see inside the buildings a bit more now. And you can tell that there's more happening, because during the day, that's all shaded out.
Yeah.
It's all lit on the outside, dark on the inside. But at night, it's dark on the outside, bright on the inside. So all these rooms that are way up in the sky and on the top of the buildings, you can see inside it now. And you can see there's a lot more in there that you could not see during the day.
Even I'm getting schooled on stuff I didn't even know was there at this point.
I'm just thinking, have we ever been there in the dark?
No,
apart from 2004 when Halloween Horror Nights.
Like you said, I mean, we've discussed it on the show so many times, and it's quite interesting now when you look at very specifically with the lighting packages that they've done on the Hulk and Skull Island, that they've put all this effort in to put real phenomenal light packages on these attractions, yet they're hardly ever open when it's dark enough to be able to see it.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Because I don't think we ever have been in there maybe at dusk at best, but never in the dark.
Yeah. And to be fair, the last 3 times I've come, I've been dragging 2 kids out as well. So I've been focused on getting 2 kids and you to the car, not enjoying my walk out.
But I'm gonna bring up what John said earlier. One of the things about the music is a huge component of that park. Anyone who's been listening to our show for any length of time will know that the music, that we wax lyrical about it all the time.
Yes, we do.
John, you said it, that the entrance gets you in the eyes and the ears. Well, I'll be honest, it also gets me in the feels, because as soon as I hear that music at the entrance to Islands of Adventure, the tears well up in my eyes, and I'm just a blubbering idiot at that point.
We get on the plane to fly out and you cry, mate.
That's true, but just call me mate.
Yeah. Sorry, John.
I just sent you some photos of the evening shots. I know you're busy doing a show right now, but if you get a chance, just take a peek. Those are the photos that I took last week. And you can see on that one area where it's really well lit up inside the rooms. And you can tell that there's a lot going on in there that you just couldn't see. But yes, I digress. The music that's half the show, because what you see is half of it, what you hear is the other half, and you do not shy away from understanding that in that design, where the music is pulling you through it now, and where they have a magic sound effect that blocks music from one land to the next, so you don't hear bleed from one island to the next island, because of the sounds that are on the bridge are transitioning you from one world to the next.
Yeah.
And of course, all the scores that are happening that are original scores, and a lot of them are on the 2 versions of the soundtrack that they released, but there's so many scores that they haven't released that I wish they would. And every time I go there, I always ask them, say, did you ever release another CD? And of course, they don't sell any anymore at all, but I'm kind of hoping that eventually, after repetitive questioning, they'll be like, hey, maybe we should update our CD.
We need a campaign.
I was just going to say, everyone listening to this show, next time you are at the parks, go to guest services, ask, I heard you did an Islands of Adventure soundtrack CD. Do you still do it? When they say no, oh, well, I think you should, because I would buy that. Because apparently you can only get it on eBay now, and it's bloody expensive.
I can imagine.
Or even if they would have downloaded on iTunes, because you can go to SeaWorld and you can get all the SeaWorld music on iTunes, which is brilliant. So, hey, I'll be happy to go to iTunes and buy Universal music.
I mean, we've had 2 of the composers on this show.
Yes, we have.
William Kidd, who did most of the stuff for Port of Entry, and he did some stuff for Toon Lagoon. Not Toon Lagoon, sorry. Zeus Landing, and a lot of the other stuff around the park. And then Howard Drossin that did a lot of the stuff for Marvel Superhero Island. And it's such a shame that when you look at the music in Port of Entry, that it isn't done as it was originally composed. Now, I feel like I talk about this all the time, so it's just such a bugbear.
That's okay.
But they don't.
You're passionate about it.
If you go onto our YouTube channel, we posted a walk-around video of Port of Entry recently, like within the last 6 weeks. I think Kenneth did one for us, and you hear that music, and it is just... It's the beginning twinkle of that. Yeah. It's like the entrance music, but they play that throughout the whole area, whereas...
It should be that...
that six separate pieces of music, all played at different parts, but they all blend together, so if you played them all at the same time, it would just sound like one piece of music. And it's such a shame they don't do that anymore, and I don't understand why they don't.
Why commission something like that and spend all that money and not use it? Especially when it's so beautiful.
Right.
So emotive.
Come on, Universal, get your act together.
Yes. Yes.
Well, not only that, but if we're going to vent for a moment, I want to buy a T-shirt with the logo. Hello?
Yes, please.
A T-shirt with the logo, just the logo of the park. Can you represent yourself a little? Support your own brand, please.
No, I will totally agree with that. I went out in 2005, I wanted a hoodie, and I wanted the Islands of Adventure logo on it. Can I get one? Can you hell?
No. Although I do keep saying it would make a very good tattoo.
It would.
Now, back before when the park first opened, and I'm going through my little references on my computer right now, there was a character that they had represented at the front of the park. I don't know if you remember this character. He was dressed... He kind of looked like a Santa Claus type character, a steampunk Santa Claus, and he had a cape or a long robe. That the robe had a map of all the continents all around it. Do you remember this character?
Wow. No.
Oh my gosh, I apologize. I should send you these photos.
Yes, you should.
Yes, they did. He had a ship that was afloat, And I have these photos also. They were at a designer's forum one time, and they had all of this stuff on display. But he had, I think it was part of the ship. He was a steampunk character. And he was kind of their, what to Epcot was like Dreamfinder.
Okay.
They had like this character for Islands of Adventure, and he was out there for the opening years of the park when it had first opened up. And he was a great character, but very hard to find these days because this is all pre-information highway on the internet. There's a lot of it's not out there.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a shame that it is supposed to be this bustling entryway, and they only ever seem to pull the characters out when it's busy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It is cool to see Woody Woodpecker in the Islands of Adventure outfit.
Yes,
Which we have.
but hasn't he been moved now? Isn't Paul
believe
there?
so.
Or unless
Yes.
they've moved him again.
I think, well, at Universal, it's kind of whoever is there at that time. I don't think there's a specific, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Like
Paul's got
they
nothing to
don't have
do
like
with-
character spots, like Disney.
Yeah.
It's, they
Yeah.
can put them in wherever at any time. And I think Woody Woodpecker's there sometimes, Poe's there sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's another thing I was thinking is like, this area kind of compares in a way. I mean, obviously it's a lot different. It's not quite the same, but to Main Street at Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got that, straight and narrow path. And then also another thing that I just got remembered, thanks to Derek Bergen, one of his Saturday 6 articles, is they have like the Main Street windows there as well.
Yes.
That have the designers' names on there. And, the executive vice president and everything is on there as well. So those are neat. And then also the sign, I love this sign that they have by the rental where, you get the strollers and wheelchairs and that thing.
I was
They
going
also
to bring
have...
this up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they also have those like airship,
Yes.
dirigible.
I
like,
said Lee will never. That was what I was going to say. Lee would never let me get a dirigible.
oh, yeah. Well, yeah, and just like everything except for like the strollers and the wheelchairs and stuff, just say like out of commission,
Yeah.
rented, sold out. It's just so cool that
Fabulous, isn't it?
those
Yeah.
little details that they have in there are just unbelievable.
If a fan wanted to contact you via email, what's your email address?
Tracy?
At podcast@uuopodcast.com.
Pod. Because I'm going to send you those photos right now.
Cool.
Awesome.
I will post them up on Facebook for everyone to have a look at.
Doesn't listening to the crew at UUOP every week make you wish that you were actually at Universal Orlando Resort? Well, stop wishing and start doing. Mouse and Muggle Travel Company is the perfect place to begin. Their team of concierge-level travel planners will help you every step of the way. And for you Muggles who also love the mouse, their team of experts specialize in Disney destinations too. And the best part of all, their services are free to you. So, if you're ready to plan your next Disney or Universal vacation, let Mouse and Muggle Travel Company do all the work for you. Just go to mouseandmuggle.com and fill out a no-obligation quote request. Or send an email to info@mouseandmuggle.com. And remember, whether you're a mouse or a muggle, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company can help make your next vacation simply magical.
I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, yeah, I think we've talked about it on the show before. There is a mailbox at the entrance of Port of Entry, and you can write a postcard, and you can
Mail the
post
postcard?
in there, and it will get I'm not sure whether it's a Port of Entry stamp or an Islands of Adventure postmark on it, which is pretty cool.
Okay, I found it. I found the sign. It's called the Time Bandits float white model, and I'm putting it into an email for you right now.
Okie dokie.
Wow, we're really prepared. I apologize. I'm not the best guest you've ever had. But let me get that to you right now.
Fine.
Yes, the post is picked up from the entrance of Port of Entry on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Why we'd never sent ourselves
So you just put a
something?
stamp in it and drop it in, and there you go.
Podcast at UUOpodcast.com.
That's
the one.
It's on its way. Here it comes.
Cool. Have a look at that because that's quite interesting. I did not know that. But you think, this is one of the things I wanted to do when we started this podcast. I've said it hundreds of times at this point, is to delve into those stories behind the lands and attractions and everything that people don't know, because everybody knows the backstory of one of the toilets in the entrance of the Main Street. Everyone knows the backstory of every tiny little detail in any Disney park. Yet Universal, that backstory's there, as we've already talked about. Those little details are there. It's just not widely publicised.
It's such a shame because people would get so much more out of it. Because I walk through Port of Entry and I'm looking around and I'm listening and I'm looking up and I'm hearing and I'm noticing things. It's things like there's a tuk-tuk and I think, where's the tuk-tuk driver?
Yes.
Who is it? And why is there a tiger over there? Who does that belong to? Why is nobody running around screaming? But it's just because my imagination just works like that. And it's like where the rental, the stroller rental is. There's a beautiful staircase, tiled staircase going up to the apartment above. Who lives there?
Yeah, exactly. That's your opportunity to be able to play. That's the emotion part. That's what separates it from a Six Flags, where it's okay. Six Flags has got some nice foliage. They've got some okay designs, but there's no backstory and there's no emotion left into it outside of the thrill of the roller coaster, which is a great emotion. Yeah. But you really want to get into the fantasy, the escapism, and you get so much of that out of Islands of Adventure, especially because they do have that. And I think all theme parks really need to be a bit more proactive as far as telling the backstory.
Yeah.
It is nice and cute to find it on your own, but man, you're hitting such a small percentage where you could expand it out more. And Universal has such a great job in telling a story at Islands of Adventure. But yeah, and I think the audience is learning to start looking for this stuff, because when you look at TripAdvisor, Islands of Adventure is still the #1 theme park in the world. TripAdvisor. So I think people are starting to figure that out, and Universal is getting a bigger fan base. Through podcasts like yourself, and I think there may be 1 or 2 other Universal Studios podcasts out there, but you guys are the best, of course.
Of course.
People are starting to learn about it. And of course, another theme park has got 500 podcasts about it, ad nauseum, overkill. But I think people are learning more and more about it, especially now at Volcano Bay. People are becoming big Universal fans. Yeah. And I wish Universal would start doing things like having their own, instead of D23, perhaps U12, which is the year that Universal started. And they could have their own Universal convention where they talk about the park and learn about it and get people excited to be a Universal fan.
Yeah. I've listened to the Entertainment Designers Forum for the last couple of years. Someone kindly recorded the audio for us. And, they usually have a lot of Universal sort of creators or ex-creative members and stuff there. And that story that they tell is fascinating.
Oh, my gosh. The haunted houses and just the displays that they have through the haunt areas, like of that one house. There's so much backstory that went into this one display house that people just walk past it in a matter of 6 seconds. But they put so much story into it. And the people who are fans, they got this one guy with a tattoo of that house on his arm. And I'm like, okay, and there's stuff that I'm missing. The theme park industry in general, and there's so many people that jump from park to park to park to work. There's so much of that storytelling going on into it. And these are some of the best storytellers in the industry working at Universal Studios, being able to create these worlds. It's the more time you spend there, the more fun you're going to have. And I'm so glad that Universal doesn't try to take the quick and easy way out of a lot of these designs, where they do have fun with it and they do enjoy it, and they intensely put all of these stories into it so you can enjoy it that much more.
Yeah, I think Darren, you'll agree, the prime example of putting the effort into something and 90% of the people see it not really getting it is Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially in the original creations and things like that.
Yeah.
The people just walk through like, oh, cool. It's a insane asylum. That's it. That's your insane asylum house. No, that's like Shady Brook. Come on. It's in Cary, Ohio. There's a big backstory there.
Look at Darren, when we came over for 25, you've been to Halloween Horror Nights 11 times at that night. When we did the private RIP tour, our guide still managed to tell you something about Insidious, if I remember rightly, that you didn't know, having been through that house God knows how many times at that point.
Oh, well, was it the pool noodles?
No, I mean the people grabbing you in the end.
Yeah.
No, the lanterns in the further.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That one, too. Yeah.
Just so cool.
I wish, if I had all the free time in the world, I would be living on Wikipedia, like updating it all the time.
Yeah.
I wish there was more. I wish there was a theme park Wikipedia. I think there was going to be one time, but the person who was going to host it just realized how much work it was. But theme park Wikipedia would be a great opportunity for the fans and to get more fans into that industry to learn about it and learn about the people who are putting this stuff together, like Jason Sorrell and Michael Roddy and all these major heavy hitters that are designing all this stuff that people don't know about. I mean, in a movie, you get credits and they shove the names right up front on the posters. You don't get that in a theme park. You got to really hunt for it. But when you start seeing the names and recognizing them, you're going to know that it's going to be a good, exciting adventure to go to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think if you look back going into Disney, obviously we've just lost Marty Sklar. He's a huge name in the theme park industry. But it's usually the Disney ones that everybody knows. Your Marty Sklars, your Rob Iwerks, Bob Gurr.
Well, I think where you're going with this, a lot of people don't realize that the people who are making Disney also made Universal.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Bob Gurr was a huge part of Disney and a huge part of Universal. It's the same people. They made both. The people who are designing there now used to work at Disney back and forth, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Merlin. They're all the same people. They just keep traveling around and they keep working in the industry. But one company is able to sell themselves really well by pushing themselves forward and kind of doing a really good job of branding themselves under one name. I wish Universal and SeaWorld could do that a bit better. Really be able to tie in an umbrella theme, an umbrella icon that everyone will recognize. Because, well, to be honest, you can name, you can tell a stranger, hey, name 5 Disney movies that aren't represented in the park. Well, of course, people can name it out. Try to do that with the Universal park. Oh, geez, it's not so easy anymore. You can't, off the top of your head, name a Universal movie as well. I wish they would fix that, make it so it is an easy icon to recognize.
Definitely.
It's funny when you look at it, though, that all the Disney fans have kind of ragged on Universal for going out and buying in properties when Disney are kind of doing that themselves now. All right, they're not. Universal don't buy them; they're buying the licenses to them. But Disney have got that much money where it's go, right, what have we got? We haven't got anything for little boys. Let's go and buy Star Wars. Let's go and buy Marvel. Yeah,
I mean, the Warner Brothers being in Universal now with Harry Potter. It works. Sure, it works. Okay, but at the same time, I kind of wish it was all just Universal stuff. But I'm super happy that Harry Potter is there. So that's really cool. But people now think that Harry Potter is a Universal movie.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It is what it is.
Or that Universal is a Harry Potter park.
Yeah. I think if you look at the deal that Universal struck with Warner Brothers for Harry Potter, that was the beginning of where theme parks are and where they're heading to in the future, because without that deal getting done, I think the immersive lands that we're seeing now, what Star Wars Land's going to be, what Pandora is, what Cars Land out in California is down to Universal striking that deal up with Warner Brothers and working with the people who made those films to make lands that are fully representative of the IPs that they're based on.
Right. But you know what, also, to bring it back around, the original IPs that the parks create, of course, with Disney, you have Pirates of the Caribbean that became movies, Haunted Mansion, all original IPs, Universal's original IP, Port of Entry. There's a whole backstory that's there that could be a movie. Yeah. Very easily.
Absolutely.
And there were rumors that Universal was actually toying around with doing some kind of an animated project to kind of tell a story of Islands of Adventure. And if they could push that forward a bit more in their media, that would create a little bit more excitement for people to come to the park and experience it that way. That's what Walt did. He created that TV show, which got people excited for the park. They came down, they enjoyed the park. I would love to see more backstory of Port of Entry as their original IP, something that they created for the park. To push forward. In that way, we wouldn't have to be guessing right now, going, well, I think there's people who escaped from prison, and I think there was a boat. But no, it'll be in black and white right there, either a book or a movie, to tell that story.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd pay good money for that.
I mean, I can't believe we've got this far in and we haven't brought up the bridge with the adventure begins and the adventure continues.
Oh, I'm sure there's a backstory behind it. The place is so overdesigned. Do you know what it is, or do you guess?
No, I have no idea.
No.
You know that there's a full story behind that bridge.
Yes.
Or it wouldn't be there. They don't just, that's the whole, Universal doesn't just do it. They're all for the heck of it. It's not just for the heck of it. They don't do that. There's got to be 1,000 reasons for anything up in that park. And that's what I want to know.
It feels like when you're in there, especially because that bridge just seems like a natural formation that they kind of carved into a little bit, doesn't it? The whole area of the park, I feel like does. The sides of the walls, you see like these rocks, and you see these like buildings built out of the rocks. Like the people that came in and then just saw this area that was already like perfectly set up for what they wanted. And, just, added on to that and made their modifications. But I see that bridge as like this natural structure that was there to begin with, that they carved their logo and their insignia.
You're right. Yeah, it's very organic. I mean, there's so much. There's another thing. The plants and the trees that they've chosen to put into Port of Entry are very unique. I mean, there are trees in there that you've never seen anywhere before, especially when they bloom. That one time I was out in the park, and I think I was geeking out, posting photos of these weird blossoms that were coming off of one of the trees that break out right around the Starbucks area. It was such a unique tree that I'd never really even picked up on before. But going into that now, we have the palm trees that are at Seuss Landing. Those palm trees, if you notice, they're all bent and warped, just like right out of a Dr. Seuss story. Universal went and purchased. They went down to Miami during the hurricane, and after the hurricane had deformed all of these palm trees, they purchased these palm trees, shipped them into Orlando, and put them into Seuss Landing because they looked so cartoony and weird. Brilliant.
Yep, I agree.
But it is, that's the length that they went to when they created Islands of Adventure to that point, and it's such a shame.
And trees are expensive. I mean, to move them, that's dedication. Someone said, oh no, we have to get these trees and we have to put them in here. And there's a lot of them. They are warping around each other. Those trees are somehow spiraling around each other. What the heck?
It's incredible. And speaking of that bridge, before we get off of that, if you can find your way up there, there are ways.
Don't know what you're talking about, Darren.
Exactly. But if in theme parks, once you get yourself to a higher elevation in most cases, in a lot of theme parks, you lose a lot of the theming. It goes away, and you see a lot of the structures behind things and that kind of thing. But if you can get up on that bridge and look back at Port of Entry, they even designed it so it looks good from the top. It's like a fully 360-degree thing,
And that's intentional. You know why?
What's
right next door to it? We've got Marvel, which has the Hulk coaster. We've got the Doctor Doom Fearfall. You are now viewing the park from about 100 feet up in the air. And that's the first thing you're seeing is Port of Entry. So all that stuff is now considered on stage. So they designed it for the people who are on the rides looking down at it. They want the park to be pretty from above.
Yes.
Yeah, and quite right too. Just sticking with the bridge a second though. In a place like Port of Entry, where it's bustling, lots of different people come and mix, and around the park we have dinosaurs and things like that.
That's true.
Why is there no trolls under those bridges?
That's in the Lost Continent, that's why.
Well, every self-respecting bridge has a troll underneath it.
Well, I could hang out there.
Do I was just going to... Not you.
I don't think internet
John,
trolls...
but I was going to say internet troll.
Kind of troll. Oh, not that.
I was going to say, you should be nicer to the caricature artists over there.
But that bridge you were talking about, Darren, that you go on, that's different to the Adventure Lives On and Continues bridge, isn't it? Whatever it is, the Adventure Begins. That's the one by the Navigators Club. And someone stop me if I'm wrong, but aren't there 2 cannons on that bridge?
On which one? The Navigators Club one?
Yes.
I don't remember seeing
I'm
any.
sure I've seen a bridge somewhere in Port of Entry that has cannons on them. I'm looking on pictures. I need to try and find it.
Can I just ask then, if they've got cannons on the bridge and you look close enough, might you find all the proper backstory?
What do you mean?
It's a bit, I know it's a bit of a stretch to go with that one.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. I'm not even gonna dignify that with any sort of answer.
You'll laugh later when you get it, do you?
I mean, when I'm editing, I go, "Oh my god, that's awful."
I never said my jokes were good.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere.
I see that there's a couple of logs strapped up there. I think you might have misinterpreted those as cannons. They look like make-believe cannons. Like somebody made them to look like cannons intentionally.
Maybe they
really do.
I can't find.
Like somebody put a log up there and like tie the rope around, and they've got like another piece of equipment like on the back to make it look like it's a wick or something like that, but it's clearly not. But I think they made it look like that, like it's a pretend thing.
Right.
Well, they've got to have defense.
Yeah, just like a joke defense kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't really need it because this is a fun place, but
Yes.
It works with the theme. Now, does Port of Entry continue on all the way to Seuss Landing on one side and and Marvel on the other? Would you consider the other area?
Right up to the bridges, yeah. Plus also the defunct boat ride that was up there.
Yes. Because if you go down, I think we talked about it as as one of the areas to chill out and get away from the crowds. The railings there have the Port of Entry logo on them.
So do the bins down by the waterside.
So yes, so that Skipper Island tours that used to go across there was all part of Port of Entry.
And you've got the submarine.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. We got to talk about one of my favorite things there, and that's that submarine.
And its little bubbly noises.
That's one of those things that has some kind of crazy backstory that's probably pages long, because they've got dialogue going on in there. If you go over there and listen, they're talking about, they're like begging, they're trying to get out of the submarine basically. So something crazy is going on over there. And just the awesome theming around it, and the fact that it's a yellow submarine sitting out there is a reference in and of itself.
I never realized there's sounds coming from there. Is that something they maintain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, every time I've been there.
Then it's important if they're maintaining it. I mean, it's important to the story. There's a reason for it. But that's another thing. Every time I go to this park, I'm always seeing something I hadn't seen before. Still, I go there on weekends. I mean, I'm constantly there. Like I was at Olive Oil's ship in Popeye, and there's this telescope that's up on the 3rd level of the ship. I mean, we're going into the deep nooks of the park at this point. And if you look inside the telescope, there's this little shark that you can only see him if you look through the telescope. That's telling a little joke story. And it's just the amount of detail that went into the design of this park is a little bit mind-blowing.
Jade loved that.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You too busy squirting all the kids.
That's the best free water cannons in the park.
Yeah, that's where the water cannons are. But there's also that organ.
Yes.
Where the organ, it has the notes. If you start playing the first few notes of the music, it will finish it for you.
Yeah, I've played that.
Love it.
It's incredible.
So cool.
That's why. Why do that? Because you want it to be awesome. I mean, someone really gets it. They get it when they put much fun into it.
Yeah. And let me give a general shout out.
Could have said, you know what? We're going to save $50,000 and not make that organ.
Yeah.
Very true. Oh, just let me give a general shout out to that whole waterfront area that they have there, at Port of Entry, especially the area to the left, where you can hang out and watch Hulk go by.
Yeah.
That is one of Nina and I's favorite place. We like to go over, one of the bars or something, get a drink, and then, go over there and hang out and just, watch the Hulk go over and over again. I've gotten some excellent photos from there as well. The rock formations and everything. And it's a place where you can be like in a semi-private area in this huge, crazy theme park. And you're right there on the water. It's beautiful.
It is. It's one of those one of my relaxation spots. If I need a bit of a time out, just go and sit down there. And if you have your back to all the hustle and bustle, you can, because of the way the bushes and shrubs are planted, you can actually block that noise out and just chill next to the water.
And everybody goes, as soon as you get to that point, everybody goes to the right or to the left to one of the lands. I hardly ever see anybody just walk straight forward to the waterfront and see all the lands in front of them.
Because it's
incredible.
View. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a place to get a panoramic photo.
Yeah.
It is. It's really nice. But yeah, so many people just walk right by it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give a plug to one of our old episodes. Again, we've kind of mentioned it here, episode 28, where we had William Kidd on.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
It's like the backstory to the Croissant Moon Bakery has changed ever so slightly. Because if you go back, one of the tracks that we talked about, and there was your favourite, wasn't it? Piratey Bakery one. What's it called?
I can't remember. I can't remember my own name.
6 Pieces of 8.
Could
something
be,
like that, isn't
something
it?
Like that.
My memory's getting
We're
terrible.
getting old, dear.
But it had a whole backstory that there was a pirate and his wife had give up the piratey life and set up a bakery.
I love that idea.
So that backstory's now gone. It's such a shame.
Mm.
And again,
really
that's
is.
why I wanted to do this, was to really, 6 Pieces of 8, to get that backstory of all the lands and the park itself out there so people know it. I mean, I think we've all found out stuff tonight just chatting between the four of us that we didn't know.
Yeah.
It's just such an awesome land.
So quick question. I sent you a while ago the Orlando Insider grand opening little magazine from the opening of Islands of Adventure. I just found it on my computer, and actually there is a little bit of a write-up. You might have actually even touched base on it.
Ooh.
But inside there is a port of entry write-up that goes into a little bit of the history. Now I'm not a good loud reader right now, but I'm going to give it a shot, so please be forgiving. So port of entry is the passageway to the islands, but certainly is also a journey of its own. With all of the islands, but especially port, the buildings were carefully designed to have meaning in history. So much history exists here that one might swear the buildings have stood for 100 years or more. For example, Defato's Expedition Photography is a house in an ancient observatory. Confisco's Grill was originally built by, and forgive me on this word here, Muggle explorers as a trading base, and existing government buildings, guest service windows, date to the colonial times. What about the Navigators Club? It used to be a ceremonial tea house where the areas are known as the Oriental Quarter. The Croissant Moon Bakery has been around for over 80 years since the wife of an Austrian sea cook took over and closed the store to open her own pastry shop.
There you go.
This kind of immersive storytelling is what makes Island of Adventure so special.
Awesome.
Cool.
Wow.
That's so cool.
I can't even speak. I'm just
seeing it's like how many of the thousands of people that walk through there on a daily basis even take any notice of it.
No, they're just trying to get the Hulk.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Good. Let them hurry through. The quicker they get through, the quicker I get it to myself.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, because we haven't mentioned the lovebirds.
No. Well, you don't want to give too much away. I want people to find things. No, there's the lovebirds. What else do we have?
Like the water, like the mill?
Yes.
Like a windmill and water mill kind of
There's
thing?
got to be a backstory behind that then.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably a mill.
Yeah.
You know, they
provides
use
the power
sails
for the entire park.
Yeah, possibly.
I would like to know why we have a Christmas shop. I'm not complaining. I love Christmas shops. But it's an unusual shop to have.
It is a shame they slightly ruined the theming by changing Is it Arctic? What was it called? Arctic. What's the?
Oh,
they
if you
changed
hadn't
the
asked
Starbucks.
me,
What was it originally? I'm trying to think now. At the top,
if you hadn't asked me, I would have been able to tell you.
Side, it used to be Arctic something or other, and now it's a bloody Starbucks.
And I just blank it because I don't see Starbucks.
What is it called?
You're right, but even the Starbucks shape of the design of the sign still kind of matches as if it was.
That's true.
They kind of back-wrote it into the story somehow.
Yeah.
And you got the Backwater Bar.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be a sleazy drinking joint.
Yes.
Yes. Sponsored by Seagram's, big time.
What's
It used to
the name
be.
of the restaurant that's off to the side? They used to have a character meet and greet there.
Confisco.
Confisco, yeah.
This goes, yeah. There's so much backstory going on in there with all the props that are hanging off of the ceiling and the walls, and if you eat in there, you can tell that there's a lot of history that's helping to tell the story inside this restaurant. And it's a restaurant I don't eat at nearly enough, but it is so well designed. I was nerding out last time I was in there, just taking photos of everything.
Yeah, we've been in there. It's pretty cool.
Another place that just looks like it's carved out of the side of a mountain,
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I mean, I don't know how much they use the Navigators Club for anything else specifically.
Events, that kind of thing.
There never seems to be anybody in there unless you...
I don't think it happens during the day most of the time.
Yeah.
It's like the nighttime events and stuff take place up there, and any VIP tours they're doing.
Yeah, you can. Be interesting to find out how much it is.
I still think it's a good place for a wedding venue, Darren.
Oh, yeah.
You do realise Nina listens to this, don't you?
Yes, I do.
think she does. Nina, you better be listening to this.
And I've never been a bridesmaid, Nina.
Always
Well, my friends,
bridesmaid.
I got to sign out, but it's been such a thrill to be part of your show. Thank you so
Cool.
much for letting me geek out
Right.
over Island Adventure just a little bit.
No, thanks for
you guys-
sharing your
Thanks,
knowledge.
John. We really appreciated having you
Oh,
on.
it's been really good.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep up.
Right.
Keep it up. You guys are all awesome. I really appreciate your podcast. It gets me through the day.
Thanks, John.
Take care.
All right, thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Well, it was really nice to have John on.
It was,
and
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's some
Just
awesome stuff that
words
I
are
didn't
failing.
even
It's-
know.
yeah.
Yeah, that little
He's
thing
not
that he
Uber
found
fan
in
for
that
no
thing
reason.
was awesome.
I know.
I'd love to have a definitive backstory. I mean, it must be somewhere.
Somebody must know it.
They must have it when they sat down to build Port of Entry. The same as with every other land in that park. They must have had, that's why the Island Trade of whatever, I can never remember what that shop's called. That's got everything in.
Souvenirs.
I always want to call it the Island Mercantile, but that's in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Island Market Traders or something
Something
like that,
like
isn't
that,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, because I think there's a track on the CD that's called that.
Yeah.
But they must have
I call
had...
it the big gift shop in the front.
Yeah.
your last stop before you leave the park to get whatever crap you want.
Yeah, and get a little bit of AC before you have to walk through City Walk.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Because hasn't that one's got the... has it got like Dumbledore's robes and stuff for like ridiculous, like $1,000 or whatever it is? I'm sure it's got them in there somewhere.
So yeah, it's got a selection of everything from each island, basically, and then even some stuff from the studios as well.
Yeah.
If you missed it on your first day, you have a chance to pick it up over there.
Yeah. It's also the place for the kids to pout and stamp and say, well, if you buy me something else from here, I'll behave all the way back to the car.
All the way to the car.
And not just the kids, sometimes the wives and husbands as
Hey,
well.
I'll tell you, that trek from the entrance of there is a bloody trek and all, because in 2004 when we came out, we got our picture taken with Spider-Man, and they printed it off there and then. They didn't ask us, do you want to wait until late? It's like, oh, there you go. And it was about 9:30 in the morning. I'm not carrying this round all day. So just like, I'm going to have a look in the Christmas shop. You can run back to the car. Oh my God. It must have took me at least half an hour to get all the way back to the parking lot, stick it in the back of the car, and then run all the way back. And that was the first time I'd ever done theme parks like that, where we've been there for 2 weeks, like 15 hours a day, and I had blisters the size of my head on my feet.
I also learned a lesson from that, which was he'd been gone ages, days. I had no money, and I was so thirsty.
You get a free cup of water.
I didn't know that at the time.
And this is true. We weren't uber geeks back then.
No, we weren't. So, yeah, before we wrap up the show, we actually wanted to share a couple of things that Universal recently posted on their blog.
Yes, I hope they do a few more of these, but one of the first ones is they posted the backstory for the Confisco Grill. Now, we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but this is what they posted on their blog, and they said, after its time as a watchtower, the Confisco Grill was a trading base where ships would be cleared to dock at the port of entry. Rumour has it that the words Custom House can still be seen above the main entrance as an indication of its prior use. Years later, it was seized by a strange sea cook named Nolly Man,
Okay.
who turned it into a restaurant. When Nolly Man's life was through, the restaurant...
sick Nolly, bro.
Yeah, well, that's a nice way to say when he was dead, by the way. When Nolly Man's
His
life was through...
when he had ceased to be.
When he shuffled off this mortal coil, he has ceased to be. He is an ex-cook.
I wonder if he was Norwegian.
The restaurant was passed down to his children. Eventually, a Malaysian tunku, which means prince, won the building in a not-so-honourable game of cards. He expanded it using remains from ships to create rooms for his family to stay in. The rooms would later be converted into more dining space for the rapidly growing restaurant. But the tunku was not the last person to own Confiscos. It was finally taken over by a Tibetan pirate captain who captured it in an intense battle. The captain would go on to build a tiered tower called a pagoda on the top of the structure. Pagodas are Chinese, Japanese?
Japanese.
Japanese.
Japanese, yeah.
Today, Confisco Grill is the restaurant we know and love, but simply look up and you'll be transported back to the past as artifacts left behind by the many sailors, merchants and pirates can be seen scattered across the makeshift walls and ancient ceilings.
So were people just sitting there eating dinner when this pirate came in and waged a bloody battle?
Yeah.
Certainly looks that way.
Killed every family inside in the expanded restaurant. And took it over. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yes, thankfully nowadays they just ask you to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, think of that next time you're having a flatbread in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then also we have the backstory for the Backwater Bar, which I'm surprised does not say Seagram 7 in it about 20 times. The founding of the Backwater Bar is but another tale. It begins with a crated French boutique from Victorian times. This abandoned structure was found at the dock of the Center Sea. Polynesians looking to make a profit placed the soon-to-be bar next to the watchtower, completing their business with a straw roof and false front. Walls were eventually added, and it became an expansion of the restaurant. Now the bar is a great place to kick back and enjoy a Seagram 7 beverage. Seagram 7.
And they're sponsored us now.
I have no idea what they are, I'll be honest.
Me either.
What? No, Seagram. Yeah, Seagram's just like a vodka alcohol company, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, they originally sponsored the bar, so there's a big Seagram 7 sign next to it.
Right.
And there used to be a ton of theming inside the bar that was all Seagram 7 as well.
See, I've never been in.
Well,
yeah. Oh, it's a nice little place. Like I said, we'll usually go over there and grab a drink and then bring it out to the to the waterfront over there. But it's a nice place in and of itself to sit and hang out as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I seem to remember they used to do a happy hour, but I think one of the first little things that Seth did, I think he said they stopped that now. I might be wrong.
Right.
Not being a drinker, it doesn't bother. They generally do 2 Cokes for the price of 1.
No, not at Universal, that's for sure.
It would be nice though, because Coke generally is more expensive than the alcohol.
Well, that's why. Because they don't want people to drink Coke. They can't fleece you out of your change if you're sober.
I think I can put extra ice in though.
I think they can. I really enjoyed that.
Yes, I have.
It makes me excited for what we've got coming up to get into some of the other islands as well.
Yeah.
But I think this one, with it being a completely made up island, it's not based on an IP. Like, I think Lost Continent potentially could be another one that we could get into, because it is kind of based on an IP, but not something as...
It's based on...
like
what's that word?
Greek myths
Mythology
and legends, like, Zeus and all the rest of it, isn't it? So it's not like a Jurassic Park or a Harry Potter or a Marvel or something. It's got a bit more of that. People aren't necessarily going to know the things that it's based on.
Yeah.
So for this one to be the starter, I hope it's opened a lot of people's eyes to what is a real untold gem of
it is
Orlando. I think not just Universal.
Definitely.
It is beautiful. Well, we shall leave it there. After all of our adventuring.
Yeah, perfect way.
I'm quite tired.
We need to go and kick back at the Backwater Bar.
Yes.
Dip our toes in the water.
Oh, see, it's such a shame we don't live in Orlando. Can you imagine having done this podcast
Sat down there.
sat outside the Backwater Bar? Like a Jim Hill Len Tester thing where they did them walking around the park, so actually been talking about Port of Entry while sat in Port of Entry.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Right, put a hold on these. Let's just sell some kids or something.
Sell the house and just go and live in Port of Entry.
I've got a tent. We'll take that. We can just be hobos. And we'll be happy.
There you go.
I think before it gets any sillier, we'd better wrap this up, people. So for Lee, for Darren, for the lovely John, And for myself, this has been the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. And let the adventure continue.
Well, that wraps up another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Thanks for listening. Between shows, please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. It really helps. But if you're not an Apple user, you can find us on Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, or wherever great podcasts are found. Head over to our blog at uuopodcast.com for show notes, articles, and more. You can get in touch with us by emailing podcast@uuopodcast.com or leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Just search UUO Podcast. And if you're planning a trip to Universal Orlando or Walt Disney World, please check out our sponsors by going to mouseandmuggle.com to book your next trip. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.